Okay guys, it's night time, but let's talk about it. Why is the skinny trend such a thing? Why are creators moi, obsessed with the skinny trend? What is it about the skinny trend? People have asked this many times on my own YouTube channel, so I thought I'd come on here and discuss why this is happening. So if you're interested in understanding this online space and why the skinny trend is such a big deal and why skinnytok is even a thing now, you definitely want to listen in for this one. I actually got really cozy for this one because, you know, it's my area. If you don't know, I have an entire playlist on skinny privilege. You should definitely check that out. Okay, there's a few reasons why this is happening. Trends don't just get pulled out of nowhere. They actually come up for a reason. The first one is definitely body image and social currency. Now, thinness is an ideal in many societies, and I don't know if you've noticed that in the past, but it's definitely a thing. And many creators have come in contact with this like many times. In fact, it's impossible as a lady that you wouldn't have one experience or the other with skinny privilege, thinness, and everything surrounding it. So it's not unusual that creators, especially females, are speaking on their experiences when it comes to skinny privilege and all of that, because, you know, it's just always been a thing. Although it's been a silent thing, there's also the thing where influencers like Slim Kim came out to say, I love being skinny. I'll put that video up.
Favorite thing to be is skinny. And I fear you cannot say that out loud, but it is my favorite thing to be, and it is my favorite fear to not be.
Yeah, so Kim said she enjoys being skinny, and people came for her, and it became this thing. I think that made it blow up well within my own space even more, right? I think she really did a good job of drawing attention to, you know, being skinny, and so she just created this wave towards the end of last year of people coming out to say they love being skinny, and other people actually reacting to that saying, why would she say something like that, right? So because everyone sort of has an experience, good or bad, with the idea of thinness as something that they may fall on either side on, so it's easy for most influencers to just talk about this and jump on this thing which happens to be a trend. So we have a variety of people, some talking about how they've experienced skinny privilege, talking about how they've been unable to experience skinny privilege, and yep, it just varies, doesn't it? Okay, so again, if you're one of those people wondering why this is such a trend, the other thing is engagement and virality. So influencers definitely want engagement, and so it's just easy to talk about beauty standard and anything beauty. You'd always get like more people talking about it. You'll always get engagements about it. It tends to go more viral. People just like to talk about anything that's to do with beauty standard, bodies, and that sort of thing. And influencers want that, right? Who doesn't want that? Since a lot of female influencers have experiences with this, especially if you're in the online space and your body is also being constantly judged, you probably have if you're not two to say about it. And so if that's another reason why the skinny discourse is such a thing. The next reason is definitely shifting body trends. Now body trends are changing again. We're moving from the curvier aesthetics, and we've seen many celebrities actually like get rid of their BBLs and their boob jobs and things like that, BBLs especially. We've seen that of recent, and so like there's a shift in body trends again, and the Republicans are in power as well. There is that conservative society push again. We've seen brands like PLT start designing more conservative clothes. So we've just seen like that, you know, return of that clean girl aesthetic, that ultra thin 90s look seems to be coming back in many circles, and brands are also, you know, responding to that. So it's not surprising that, you know, individuals and content creators particularly are speaking on this, because like it's what's happening in society, and content creators typically speak on things that are engaging and things that are relevant to the current society. Okay, so this shift in trends of recent that has been more, you know, global, not just in terms of, you know, content creation, but the world in itself, the Western world especially, has definitely influenced the influencing space or social media space, where there's things like skinnytok now, because it serves the purpose of, you know, speaking on things that are currently happening in society, which is what social media typically does. But while some influencers are reacting to this shift, some are acknowledging that it exists, everyone is just giving their take, and so there's this blow up of lots of skinny content. If you're enjoying this video, just stay to the end, because I would be advising on what I think you can do about it while this is happening. There's also the one of personal experience and relatability. So if you are a skinny girl, you probably felt left out in during the body positivity movement, right? So I've mentioned this in one of my other videos where I said being skinny feels great. If you're a skinny girl, you've probably experienced not feeling like you're part of the body positivity movement, that it was all for the bigger girls, or there was a jeering towards making, you know, the BBL body, the curvy body, the better aesthetic, right? And so for many years, if you're a skinny girl, you chose to be skinny, you've probably been sort of in the shadows, right? So it feels like it is the time for skinny influencers and influencers that are skinny rather to be able to speak on what is actually personal to them, what is relatable to them, now that there's a dying or death of the curvier aesthetic, you know, body positivity movement, because felt left out. I personally, not necessarily that I felt left out, but I always sort of wonder that where do we fit in skinny bodies while talking about all of that. It's not like it's a personal bother for me, but because I know that on the other end of the spectrum from being curvy, there's also always been like, you know, that thing about there's a lot of skinny people that not necessarily feel confident about their bodies because of how in certain societies thinness is being seen, right? Yeah, personal experiences definitely play a part in this, because like if you've experienced the dark side of being skinny or certain comments you get in certain societies, you probably wouldn't even want to be skinny, right? So this is another reason why influencers and social media content creators are talking about the skinny aesthetic, skinny privilege, and everything skinny. Okay, another one is just niches, monetization. So it is what it is, the game is the game. There is the Slavic doll aesthetic. There's other things that are embraced in certain cultures that are also trendy at the moment and people really like. And so like if you are a creator and it just fits in your niche, right, to talk about, you know, the old skinny trend, there's no reason not to, because like if you're a woman, you can probably relate to it. If you're skinny, you probably can relate to it. It's just something that's very relatable, and so it's good for like a lot of niches that are specific to like women or specific to like ladies, specific to the female gender. So it makes sense that lots of influencers will talk about this. I hope I've been able to answer the question that many people have left comments asking on my own channel, that what is it with the skinny movement? Why is everyone obsessed with being skinny at the moment? I hope I've been able to answer that. Now, if you're wondering what to do about this, who knows, this could be a trend. For me personally, it's not a trend because I've been skinny all my life, like I've said in my previous videos, and I love being skinny, and I would always preach, you know, about being skinny in the healthy ways because of like the advantages that I've gotten, the advantages I've seen that it's gotten certain people in society, because of how it's perceived by certain classes. And so I'll say, you know what, if this is something you love for yourself, there's no harm in trying to, you know, get a certain body, but I don't think it should just be for the aesthetics. I think if someone's on the bigger side and it's unhealthy, you should do this for your health first, and then the aesthetics if you like it, because in the end there's different types of skinny, like I said in my other videos. And so like you shouldn't be gunning for one person's body, you should be gunning for the best you can be, because in the end your own skinny may just be like slim thick rather than like model type or arranged chic skinny, because like that's just what your genetic makeup would allow, no matter how hard you work out, etc. I wouldn't advocate for like working out so you become like thin air right? So yeah, anyway, I'm rooting for you, and I would see you in my next video as always. Cheers.